everyone. Welcome to the... Nope. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Praise the Run, episode 15. I'm Ben, also known as the MrBenShow. This is my channel, and this is my co-host, Patrick.
That's me, I'm Patrick.
Also known as Litterdud. Yeah, dude. It's another episode. Another week went by. Surprisingly, with the short week, we got a bunch of games that came out.
Oh, yeah?
At least that got reviews and stuff, so we'll be talking about that.
Nice.
There's some good things, some bad things, some weird things that happen.
Yeah.
First and foremost, are you playing anything new?
No, nothing new. Just, I started playing, that, where you run away from the monster multiplayer game. What's it called?
Dead by Daylight.
Dead by Daylight, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I've been playing that. I have a couple people that play now, so... Because it's not really fun when you're by yourself. I guess, like, if you're the killer...
Right.
Or whatever, but... I don't know. I feel like if you're going to play a survivor, it's more fun to have someone to be like, they're, like, screaming and stuff.
Right.
But other than that, just the same games. I've gotten a little further in Elden Ring, and I've been kind of just going around and, like, cleaning up bosses in the first couple areas or whatever before I move on to the upper part of the map.
Yeah, the mountains and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, once I moved up there and unlocked that, I kind of just went back down and was like, all right, I'll level up a little bit and kill all these. Like, I went back and killed, like, the dragon and stuff, like, things I've been putting off.
Yeah.
To kind of level that up, and then, yeah. Other than that, just the other games I usually play, Rocket League,
Nice.
The basics.
Nice. Just coming from my headphones. Wait, where is the voice coming from? Hell yeah. What have I played? I haven't played much this week. I don't think I played anything new, actually.
No?
No, just a lot of editing.
Yeah.
The end of last week, I guess, I played Fast and Furious Crossroads at the end of last week. I don't remember if that was before or after the podcast. That game is horrible.
Nice.
It's really bad. It has the whole cast, or pretty much the whole cast of Fast and Furious from what I know of those movies. I've never
really?
actually seen any of those movies.
Yeah.
But I played the game because it got delisted and taken off shelves a while ago. And I saw it physically, so I was like, I'm gonna get this and try this weird thing.
Right.
So that those episodes will be going up sometime soon once one of the games that are going up are finishing.
Right.
But I have The Simpsons Hit and Run coming out for a few more episodes. Elden Ring still going up.
Yeah.
And then Katamari Rerolls going up. I beat that the other week. That was a lot of fun. I love that game so much. It's one of my favorite series of all time.
It's a fun one, yeah. It's a good game.
And then something else. Oh, 50 Cent Blood on the Sand, which is
Oh, yeah.
an insane game. I have no clue how that got made. But yeah, it's nothing too special. Hopefully next week I have a couple of things that are new that I'm actually playing and not just editing.
Right.
I got a couple days off this week, but they're also on the same days as Summer Games Fest is happening Thursday. And Friday is a couple of other things, but
Yeah.
this is the week where shit starts getting crazy for a little bit. And then I go on vacation at the end of the month, so
Oh, wow.
it's gonna a lot about to happen. Fuck. Want to get in some news? That's really all I had with games.
Yeah, I don't have any other game stuff. I haven't even really been looking at anything else other than what I've been playing.
Yeah, I think the next game I'll probably play is Saw, which is behind me now.
Oh, yeah.
About that the other day. I want to play through that. There's a couple other games. I was thinking about playing Dead Space, which is also behind me.
That's fun. Yeah, Dead Space.
I haven't played Dead Space in a very long time. And a lot of my memories of Dead Space are probably Dead Space 2.
Yeah.
Because you have actual weapons in that game.
Right.
And, yeah. Yeah. Well, like I said, a lot of games came out this week.
Okay.
Or at least embargoes lifted. One of those being what's on the screen right now. It's Diablo 4.
Oh, nice.
Diablo 4 is finally out, or reviews are out. I think it comes out. Did it come out today? I'm not sure. It either came out today or next week.
That's
from
sick.
Today. It's doing really well. It's a good game. It's a real good game.
I love Diablo.
It's a. They have. The last game did not do so well.
Yeah, someone asked me to play Diablo 2 the other day.
Yes, Diablo 2 Resurrected
Yeah.
was one of those as well. I forgot that even came out. But that didn't launch too well. It had like a bunch of bugs and stuff like that.
Oh,
People
really?
weren't too happy with it. Same thing with like when they redid WoW or Warcraft a couple years ago. They remade Warcraft 3 or something. People weren't really hot on that.
No.
I think Diablo 2 has gotten updates where it's much better because people do talk about the game a lot higher in regard now. Or maybe the people that just love Diablo 2 are finally playing it. And they're like, oh yeah, well, it's still Diablo 2.
Right.
Some of my first gaming memories are Diablo 1 and 2. Like sitting on my dad's lap and playing games and stuff like that. Diablo is like this series that got me into gaming. But I never beat Diablo 3.
No.
I don't think I've ever even beaten a Diablo myself. I've definitely seen the endings with my dad and stuff like that.
Right.
But I don't remember ever beating one myself.
Wow.
I want to get heavy into Diablo 4. I just don't know when's going to be the time.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe when I go on vacation, I'll bring my PS4 or something with me and pick it up while I'm there. Start grinding away and stuff. But like, I don't know. I like playing games on camera. So I'll probably wait until I'm actually back home.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a crazy good game.
Fun streaming game too.
Yes. Right. I think there's like streamer things that you could do to like help with the world. I'm not completely sure.
Oh, that's cool.
Or like spawning units or something like that. Bunch of great reviews. Diablo 4 on OpenCritic is now sitting on. I just had it up and then it went away. Fucking shit. Diablo 4 OpenCritic is sitting at an 89.
Nice.
96%. Diablo 4 is ranked in the 98th percentile of games scored on OpenCritic. IGN. I just had that article up too. Fuck, where is it? IGN gave it a 9. Saying Diablo 4 is a stunning sequel with near perfect endgame and a progression design that makes it absolutely excruciating to put down.
Wow.
The story is a big disappointment, despite still being a noticeable improvement over Diablo 3, and there are some annoying bugs that need to be squashing. But the combat, the loot game, and both the sights and sounds of the world are impressive enough to smooth over the rough edges. Diablo 4 takes the strategy of refining things the series already did so well rather than giving it a more substantial overhaul. And that careful, reverent path has shaped this massive sequel into one of the most polished ARPGs ever created, which makes slicing through legions of the damned of hell a good time. Blah, blah, blah. And that is who's that written by?
I mean, it looks super great.
Pull that name up real quick. Yeah, it looks amazing. I love the world. I love the enemies. I love the gore. The gore is amazing. Just like everything. I want to be in there. Travis Northup is the one who wrote the IGN review. So go read that. Diablo 4 review. Yeah, I'm pumped about this game. I can't stop watching people play it. I want to get hands on myself. I haven't. There's been so many open betas and shit.
Yeah.
But they've been mostly on PC. And I don't want to play on PC.
It's a pretty heavy PC game.
It is, but Diablo 3 has made this game amazing for a controller, and now that they have the knowledge of making these games on controller, they've gotten phenomenal on controller. Like, a lot of people, I assume, are playing Diablo 3 on controller, especially with it coming to systems and stuff.
Right.
But yeah, Diablo 4. Diablo 4 looks great. We got, that's the PlayStation controller. We got another game that embargoes dropped the same day. It's kind of crazy that this lined up this way. But we've been talking about Street Fighter 6 for a very long time now. Since they first showed it off. Street Fighter 6 has been showing off extremely well.
Yeah.
With all the character reveals and stuff like that.
There's an ad for it.
Yeah, here's an ad on the trailer. Well, I got good news.
Yeah.
This is a good game.
Well, that's good.
People are really liking it. The article I have is the PC Gamer review, written by Molly Taylor, as she gave it an 89. Where I just had a certain segment of the article pulled out for quotes, but then I moved it. I've never felt this way about a 2D fighter before. It's handed me all the tools I could need to learn its strange combo flows and timings, and has actively encouraged me to put them into practice in a slew of different ways. If I don't love hanging out in the training room, I can go and practice World Tour side missions, or jump on some online training with a pal. If I want to goof around and smack my friends with a long-limbed avatar, I can do that too. Capcom has offered an absolute buffet of ways to play Street Fighter 6, and there'll be something at the table everyone likes. If you've ever been too scared to try a fighting game for the first time, make Street Fighter 6 your entry point into the genre. It is easily the most accessible entry yet, and I can't wait to see how many more people in the fighting game community enter through this game. I couldn't think of a better way to kickstart the new generation of fighting games. Other upcoming games like Tekken 8 and Mortal Kombat 1 have a lot to live up to. Yeah, people really like this game, man. The beta, again with the Diablo thing, the betas, demos, and stuff for this game have been showing off very well.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of them. This game has had a demo on console out for a little bit.
Yeah, I've seen some people that I know play it.
Yeah. I'm not a fighting game fan. There's like very few that I want to jump into.
Yeah.
The World Tour like thing that they have, the single player mode, has made it so I want to try this out.
Yeah.
I think this is probably the best looking Street Fighter in my opinion too. Like, I didn't think Street Fighter 5 looked enticing at all. And the more they showed it off, like with characters being announced and stuff like that, it was just like, I want to just skip this. Everything
it
that's
was just kind of like another. I felt like just like, okay,
right.
Here's another one, whatever.
Right. It was just sterile and yeah, it was just, I don't know. It was definitely made for esports, and it felt like a hospital, like esports does, where everything's just too sleek and too clean. But this game, every time I see it, looks great. It shows great. The movement's great. It has like an edge to it that the last games didn't have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pumped. I'm glad the fighting game community has a new Street Fighter they're actually proud of, because it took Street Fighter 5 a long time for people to be okay with it, and people are just okay with it now. Hell yeah, Street Fighter 6. So dope to come back. And like I said, we got Tekken 8. Doesn't have a release date yet.
Yeah.
That's rumored to come out at the back half of this year. And we got Mortal Kombat 1 coming out in like a month or two. I think it's August. Fighting game community is eating good. They got the big three are all coming out back to back.
Yeah, right.
It's kind of crazy. I'm excited to see what Evo's like next year. It'd be cool to see. Cool to see. Street Fighter 6 is done. The next thing I wanted to talk about in the news was something we talked about last week. And it is...
What could it be?
So Spider-Man 2 is a game that we saw last week. We were both very excited for it.
Oh, yeah.
Spider-Man 2... It looks great.
I think I had a dream about Spider-Man.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like following me.
Well, we got a little bit to go. There's no date yet, but sometime in fall. There is the new Spider-Man movie as well.
Maybe that was it too. I think I've seen that like pop up. There's so much Spider-Man popping up in my shiz.
All the time, just Spider-Man. Well, one of the questions we had was, how is the character switching gonna work?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Well, Insomniac devs, they came out and kind of explained.
Oh, how nice of them.
Yeah, so this is not a big story, like, reviews to anywhere wise. It's just kind of like a clarification. This is written by Victoria Kennedy from Eurogamer. Last week, Insomniac Games showed off Spider-Man 2's seamless transitions between Peter Parker and fellow web slinger Miles Morales. These moments in the sequel's gameplay were impressive, invoking memories to similar fluidities of Insomniac's fellow PS5 exclusive Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. But I still had one question. Can we only switch characters at a certain story points, or will we be able to switch them freely? Turns out, the answer is a little bit of both. When you're playing the main story, we control when you switch between Peter and Miles. So that's what we said, where we saw the button and stuff like that. Pete and Miles, it's done in the service of the story when we're making those switches for sure. Spider-Man 2's creative director, Brian Intihar told Eurogamer in an exclusive interview. So, as you saw on that gameplay reveal, which is a segment of the main story, we are predetermining those based on what we want to do for how the story plans out. When you are in Spider-Man 2's New York open world, however, it's different. We have content design around Peter, we have content design around Miles, we have content where you can play either, Intihar said. You'll be able to, in the open world, freely switch between them with a simple button press.
So it's like Grand Theft Auto, kind of.
Yeah.
Where you have your 3 characters, and you can kind of do whatever until you start a mission, and then it will choose, like, alright, you should actually be this Spider-Man for now, or whatever. Which makes sense, because you're the end of Miles Morales is when they unite. Like, that's what I talked about last week. Like, there's still Miles' story happening. Like,
yes,
he just became this new Spider-Man.
Yes, well, the end of...
Like, so he still has his own individual troubles. And then obviously, Peter has his own individual troubles of being taken over as... So I'm sure they're going to have their own individual stories and then their combined stories.
Yes. Yeah.
And I bet you can probably even complete one without completing the other.
Right.
There's probably like a choicey... I'm sure like maybe like there's like a complete story, but you could probably be like... You could complete all of Peter's achievements and still have like...
Yeah.
Miles achievements. You know?
There might be some instances of that, but I think the way that this city unfolds, there'll probably be things that unlock throughout as well.
Right.
But what's different from Grand Theft Auto and stuff like that is additionally the character switching will all tie into Spider-Man 2's 3 skill trees. There's 3 this time. One for Peter, one for Miles, and one that is shared.
Interesting.
So we'll have Miles moves, which will probably be very gadget heavy.
Yeah.
Like his lightning powers and stuff like that.
Right.
Or Peter moves, which assumingly would be symbiote related stuff.
Right, that's what it seems.
But Venom is an actual villain in this game, so we don't know how long he's gonna have the symbiote suit.
Right.
It could just be like the first 2 hours of the game, and they just take it away from you. But the third one is interesting because I would assume that's a traversal thing, like with webs and like the wingsuits and everything like that. It's kind of like where I would think that would be. Maybe there's some combat stuff in there.
Well, they both. I mean, it could be like suit related too, because they're probably
exactly
combined efforts. Yeah, but like all their gadgets and stuff.
Oh, okay, yeah. There's probably a couple little gadgets that they're shared for sure. Like the spider sense stuff, probably.
Yeah, because you're really tech heavy in the first Spider-Man. So like even if you have the symbiote, like you're still gonna be relying on that. I feel.
Right. Yeah. God, this game looks great.
I mean, regardless, it's gonna be so fun. I've always every Spider-Man game I've always been a fan.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. This is hype. It's hype.
And they just get better. And now they have like a really tight formula for them.
Yeah.
So they can just kind of, build a story around them and stuff. It's nice. I'm stoked. I'm stoked.
Me too. Me too.
You can't tell.
Even
though this trailer's still too long.
It's very long. It is very long. We talked about a few other games last week as well. Let me just delete the stuff that we already talked about. On a while ago, we talked about this game's launching and stuff like that, and you said you had enjoyed the vibes. Well, the game has came out, and nobody enjoyed those vibes.
Nobody.
This game is real bad.
Oh, man.
Why is Redfall so bad? Redfall devs are sad. Was the article? Redfall developers sad, confused, disappointed after game is openly mocked by peers. No, this is not the article that I wanted.
I kind of forgot what this game was. It's only been a week. I'm like,
Here's what I want. This comes from GameHub. This is Leah J. Williams. This is a shrunken down version of a Jason Schreier report that came out recently.
Okay.
Over on Bloomberg about the acquisition of Xbox and Bethesda, and Redfall had already started development before the acquisition had gone through. And when that Activision finally went through, the Arcane devs wanted Xbox to cancel their game. But Xbox was like, no, you're Bethesda, so like we're just gonna be over here and not tell you what to do, and you guys go make your games.
Right.
Well, I guess that was a bad idea because they definitely did not want to be making this game. And that's kind of like where a lot of the story is. My nose is running so badly. Every time I start recording, my nose starts running.
Wow. Well, you better go catch it.
A recent Bloomberg report has dug into this outcome and how the arcane magic failed to save the game. According to the investigative journalist Jason Schreier, Redfall launched in disappointing form due to a range of factors including alleged understaffing and attrition at Arcane and an overall direction for the game. It reportedly began life of the height of the games as service trend in the 2010s, where modern game releases offered players an in-game collectibles to keep them paying over microtransactions. The system had worked with Overwatch and Fortnite, so studios began pushing for these features, including in Redfall. Bloomberg claims many developers found the studio's direction confusing, as head management wanted to combine classic, arcane, immersive sim single-player gameplay with an online multiplayer directive. So you got there where they didn't want to make a multiplayer game. Corporate was like, you gotta make this a multiplayer game.
Right.
And they're like, why? And then nobody wanted to make it. So I think it was somewhere, I don't remember if oh, here it is. 70% of the staff that had worked on Arcane Austin's beloved Prey left the company during Redfall's development.
Wow.
Over 2/3 of the company left the studio.
Like, I'm not making this game.
Yeah. Over how long? Prey was 2017, 2016. So around 6 years, 7 years. That's insane. That's insane. And then yeah, they were like, "Hey Xbox, please cancel our game." And Xbox was like, "You're Arcane. You guys make great games. Why would we do that?" Or it sounds like they didn't even talk to Xbox. They were just kind of like wishing Xbox would see how bad this game was and be like, "Okay, we're done with it." And they're like, "Nah, we believe in your vision."
Yeah, you got this.
And apparently that's how they were with this game. While Starfield, on the other hand, the big one, Starfield's getting all the love and attention and the hands-on and all of that stuff. Which is probably for the best thing, seeing how this game launched. I think this game is sitting at a 54 on Metacritic now, maybe a 52. This game real bad.
Yeah, it's so bad.
But it's not the worst game we're about to talk about, because another game came out this week.
Worse than that?
Worse than that.
Just watching this hasn't been very fun.
There's a little...
Not like a fun game.
Yeah, right.
I'm trying to remember what enticed me beforehand.
Just the gothy vampire, like...
Oh, yeah, that'll do it.
It was very horror-centric, and I was also into it at that point, too, when they showed it off last year. I guess it's been a couple years.
Lord of Flies. The video game.
Of the Rings Gollum.
Oh, man, this one
Finally
I've definitely seen the reviews for. Because this one was so bad.
It's so bad.
It was so bad, it's like a meme to the world.
Yeah.
Because it's Gollum, too, so it's like...
Hey, there's Katamari.
Everyone knows who that is.
Yeah.
The Royal Reverie.
Yeah, they remade the second one and came out today.
Nice. Look at that. Look at Gollum's horrible hair.
Yeah.
It's big old eyeballs. This looks like a PlayStation 1 game.
Yeah, and it plays worse than 1 too, apparently. Lord of the Rings Gollum review. I have this pulled up by Justin Courier from IGN. He gave it a... Scroll all the way down, so I'm going to scroll all the way back up. God damn it. Stupid Safari doing this on my phone. They gave it a 4 out of 10.
Wow.
That's not the worst review I've saw. I think GameSpot gave it a 2 out of 10.
Wow.
So IGN being a little bit on the lighter side for this game, but is the verdict of what they got. Lord of the Rings Gollum fails to provide a satisfying answer to the big whys. Why, of all the interesting characters in Lord of the Rings lore, would anyone want to play the entire game as Gollum? Why would one trade the solid action of prior games in the universe for busy work, uninspired, and frustrating platforming and bad stealth? It's not clear who this is for or what it was intended to achieve. What is clear that it is not fun to play or not something to recommend to any but the most curious and dedicated of Lord of the Rings fans. So this game is getting panned from performance issues, the way this game looks. Like you said, it looks hideous. The texture graphics on his hair break the fucking game. They have a hair texture slider.
Hair? Yeah, it's so bad.
Yeah, there's like a ray tracing hair slider, and if you have it up, it like crashes the game. I don't know why they did everything in this game. It's not a stealth game
So
per
funny.
se. It's more of a slave simulator where you're doing like short busy work for orcs and wraiths and stuff like that.
Wow.
That all involve mining rocks or collecting things
Looks like
in
you're
the
just
caves.
following people around.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Not what I thought it was going to be. I mean, I didn't think it was going to be good from the beginning. When we talked about this, like,
Right.
a year ago or whatever, like I said, I mean, I don't think anyone really thought it was going to be good. I don't know how you could think that
way.
it was going to be good to
No
be this.
way.
But I thought they would at least, like, make it interesting.
Right.
Like give you the actual story from, like, when he was whoever to now. You know, the whole thing. Like, I'm not a huge Lord of the Rings head, so, like, I don't know the whole thing myself. But I know he was a normal person at one time.
Right.
Right? And you don't even get to do that in here. You're just
You're immediately Schmeagol or
Schmeagol with a little more hair.
and then
Or whatever. And yeah, that sucks. It really sucks because I love, like, every Lord of the Ring game, I think, that's come out ever. I've played so many.
yeah, the majority of them I really do like. Yeah, the one that was probably the hardest for me to get to, other than the MMO, is they did that turn-based one that I don't.
Oh, where you're not even, like, any of the main characters?
Yeah,
You're,
what's
like,
it-
it's like a whole side thing. I actually like that one because that one's kind of like Final Fantasy. So it's
Yeah,
like,
the
that's
third
my
age.
jam.
That's
Yeah.
what that's called. That was probably the hard. I'm not a huge turn-based. At least at
right.
the
That
time
one was
wasn't.
difficult. That one was really hard.
Um,
But even then, that was still, like, fun because it was still, like, you did run into some familiar characters, I think. But also, like, even it being, like, other random characters, it was still, like, a Lord of the Ring story or whatever. It was cool.
Yeah, it's set in Mordor and everything.
But watching this, none of this even looks relatable
No.
to what. Like, do you eventually run into the main people? When do you have the ring? I haven't seen the ring one time. Isn't that the
I
whole
don't think ever.
shtick?
No.
The whole reason you are that thing is because the ring turns you into that creature, right?
Right.
That's like.
I don't.
That's why I thought you were being. That's why I thought the game was going to be about from the beginning. Was like you have the ring, so that's why you're stealthy. Is you're always trying to. You're always. You have to survive, but you know people are trying to get the ring from you.
Right.
But this doesn't even look like you have that. You're just like.
No. That it doesn't. None of that's in the game.
That is crazy.
I think people have said this game's like 9 hours, and 7 hours of it is this inside of the cave slave place.
Right. This isn't even like.
There's a
This
lot.
isn't even like. Like Hitman or
No.
or what's the other sneaky game? Prince of Persia? No.
Splinter Cell.
No. Yeah, but no. What's the? They're just making an Assassin's Creed.
Oh,
Not even
Assassin's
Assassin's Creed. Like adjacent with the sneaking. I thought it was
No.
gonna be at least like that. You know.
Well, I mean, Gollum isn't strong or anything, so like you're not killing dudes.
Right.
You're going up behind them and
He
smacking
just
with a rock.
I love that. He just got punched in the back of the head. Game over. Like
Yeah.
that's the. Oh my gosh. Right. That's the whole thing. Is like you're not strong. You just. Did you get distracted by a
Just
bug?
a little
just now?
weak thing. Yeah, that's a huge thing with like the idle animations, where like a paid DLC, and they gave you like iconic animations or whatever, and
Right.
the iconic animations are like him cowering in fear and him playing with a bug.
Wow.
And they say the bug is like an iconic bug or something, like the iconic Gollum bug or whatever.
Show me that scene.
Yeah, right. There's a lot
Show
of
me
that.
please.
Um,
They should have included that in the side. I need a side by side.
There's a whole bird companion thing of the game where you're like breeding birds and stuff like that and sending them on
Who's this pirate
missions.
guy?
Gandalf the R.
The R.
Yeah, R.
Oh, the R. Oh.
This is such a stupid game. I can't believe this game exists.
I can't believe, like, it just looks so bad. And someone was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially, like, after the last couple, like, Lord of the Rings games have only improved. They have only gotten better looking, smoother, you know?
Right. Well,
I can't even remember the last one I played, but I've played it. What was the one where you, like, I borrowed it from Kyle. But you go and you, like, take over the different factions of, like, orcs and stuff. Basically, like, you can, like, move up the ranks.
oh, Shadow of Mordor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they made it number 2. Super
Shadow
fun game.
War.
Super fun game. I went back and played that just to do the whole ranking thing. That's super
Yeah.
fun. Beautiful looking. And then, oh man.
What is it? That team's doing something that I don't think a lot of people liked recently. This game came out. It's real bad. Real bad game comes out, which means we get an apology. Yay! Dear players, we would like to sincerely apologize for the underwhelming experience many of you had with the Lord of the Rings Gollum upon its release. We acknowledge and deeply regret that the game did not meet the expectations we set for ourselves or for the dedicated community. Please accept our sincere apologies for any disappointment this may have caused. Our goal as a studio and passionate Lord of the Rings fans has always been to tell a compelling and immersive story-driven adventure. Crafting a story with Middle-earth as your playground has been the greatest honor and the biggest challenge we have faced so far. At Daedalic, we understand that game's success relies on the enjoyment and satisfaction of its players. We genuinely value your feedback and have been actively listening to your voices, reading your comments, and analyzing the constructive criticism and suggestions you have provided. Our development team has been working diligently to address the bugs and technical issues many of you experience. We are committed to providing you with patches that will allow you to enjoy the game to its fullest potential.
I think you need more. You gotta do a whole new game.
Yeah, dude.
Like, I don't think bug fixes are gonna change how ugly everything looks.
Once again, though, we apologize for any inconvenience caused, and we appreciate for your understanding during this time.
Like, that was the most boring looking orc.
Yeah.
Like, it was the blankest. There were no details. Like, nothing in this game so far has even screamed Lord of the Rings. Or, like,
right.
Like, any of the lands or anything. Like, nothing.
So they came out and apologized. The studio's known for making, like, point-and-click adventures.
Yeah.
Daedalic usually does that kind of stuff.
Right.
So this was always going to be super ambitious for them.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit much. It turned out real bad.
Yeah.
But I got good news. Where I guess I must have Daedalic Entertainment.
Everyone gets a copy for free. Because it was so bad.
Yeah, that would be funny, right? What about Lord of the Rings Gollum developer working on another secret Lord of the Rings game codenamed It's Magic?
Oh. I don't think they should.
Daedalic Entertainment, the studio behind the long-delayed and poorly reviewed Lord of the Rings Gollum that came out yesterday, appears to be working on another Lord of the Rings game. One that potentially features the franchise's iconic wizards. So yeah, this game came out, did real bad.
Well, there's no way they're gonna let him continue.
This was it was confirmed after everything. So as far as now, I think so. And the people, Embracer Group owns Lord of the Rings. That was one thing I didn't bring up recently. Because I think that was a week and a half ago or so. Embracer Group had a deal fall through. It was like $2 billion. It was like money that they were like, I guess, really counting on.
Yeah.
And then the CEO of Embracer Group like went on a gigantic like hour-long interview almost as soon as it happened, as soon as he found out, he was just fucking 1,000-yard stare, like dead in the eyes, answering these questions, because you could see in his face, like, oh my, where is my company about to go? Now that Embracer Group owns Lord of the Rings, all of it, I don't think they can afford scraping it away with anything right now, especially if they're already working on something.
Right.
Like,
that's crazy though. Like,
yeah.
We need to do that what we did with the Sonic movie and Revolt and make them remake that whole Gollum game again.
But I don't think that they would have, even if they did, they're not the studio for it.
No, I agree, but it's just, it's upsetting. Because no one, I guess that's not true. We've skimped on some Lord of the Rings things in the past, not necessarily games, but like, we've come a long way. All right, we've put a lot of money into Lord of the Rings life,
right?
To just come up with this game that like doesn't even look like, from the trailer of the gameplay just now, it doesn't even look like I said, no, it doesn't look Lord of the Ringy at all. Like, you're just in a cave. You don't go to any biomes.
No.
You don't see any of the characters or the things.
We did see for a second that he was in with the high elves and stuff. He was like sneaking behind the high elf dude. So he was there. There was a different biome there, but a lot of the biomes I have seen outside of the cave area is the mountain.
Right.
And it's just that. It's a lot of rock and stone,
like,
and that's about it.
There's like no details or anything.
No. You got your Gollum vision.
Yeah.
What a ridiculous game.
Wow.
I had a couple other news stories, but I think this is like the high note I probably want to end it on, as much as a high note of talking a bunch of shit on a video game is.
Yeah.
But
Another Grashnig died.
Yeah. This random dude helping you. There's like an old guy companion that helps you. Like, we're following that old dude with white hair or whatever through that cave. That's like your best friend.
A reoccurring. Right. Did he have a best friend? Is this a new thing?
I guess in jail he did. He's like, you're gonna be my bitch.
His prison friend.
Yeah.
Gollum did hard time. That's what this game is. It's just him doing hard time for a few months.
Yeah.
That's funny. And
doing hard time, moving rocks,
and found the ring again.
Yeah. Or he gets caught and punched in the face and dies.
Right.
The other news stories that I had was CD Projekt Red is laying off the rest of the Gwent team. Gwent had been they had announced that they were ending support for it, like continuous expansions, about a year or so ago.
Yeah. So
they moved a lot of the devs and stuff to other things. CD Projekt Red is working on a few Witcher games, the Cyberpunk DLC. Like, they have other things that they're working on.
Yeah.
I think Witcher 1 is getting a remake, like a full up for the ground remake. There's about 30 people left on that Gwent team, and yeah, it has been.
I didn't even know they were still doing things with that.
Yeah, exactly.
That was kind of like a one-off. You play Gwent.
It went for a long time.
Yeah.
This was 6 years.
Were they were like constantly adding stuff to it the whole time?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was really.
Yeah,
popular.
I never played it. I just thought it was like. I mean, I figured like they would do some things, but I didn't. You know, I was just like, oh, it's just so you can play just Gwent. You know?
Right.
You don't have to play the game.
Yeah.
I don't have to log into the old whatchamacallit, you know.
Yeah, it's not like it hasn't been as big as like Hearthstone or MTG Arena or anything like that.
Right.
But, it's
that would be cool though.
Steady.
Yeah. That would have been cool.
And good on them for, like, Gwent was a really cool card game inside the Witcher 3 series. Got really popular. People loved
Yeah.
it. And they capitalized on it really fast and
For
made
sure.
something pretty decent. At least when the beta launched, like, I really enjoyed, like, the first little bit of, like, campaign they would give you.
Yeah.
Introducing, like, all of the different decks and stuff like that. I wish that there was some... There could have been deeper things, and maybe later in the years they did things like, instead of having, like, just the monster deck or the Skellige deck or whatever, like, being able to mix cards and stuff like that. It just never ended up being, like, that meta. It was just, oh, I'm the monster faction. Oh, I'm the high elf. So I'm the north. Oh.
So a little limited.
Yeah. Yeah, you're playing with, like, basically theme decks.
Yeah.
You can unlock cards within those things, and with battles through the campaign and earning currency and stuff, you would open packs and get new cards for each thing.
Mm-hmm.
But if you pull a monster card, you can only put it in the monster deck. You can put it in your overall deck.
Right. Interesting.
And that's where I was kind of like, oh, I wish this was a little bit more when I was playing it. But then it went for another 5 years, and apparently the community was there. And it wasn't there, it's not there anymore, apparently, but it was there for a long time, at least for them to keep supporting it for so long.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I didn't realize that.
Very cool.
I've seen it on Game Pass and stuff. I just never played it. I mean, I played it when I played The Witcher and stuff.
Yeah. There was another studio that just had layoffs. Maybe next week, if I remember. I'll bring it up. The other story I had was Tetris 99, the Battle Royale game.
Yeah.
We all know that. They made a Pac-Man one shortly after.
Oh, shit.
Called Pac-Man 99. That game is getting delisted and taken down.
Why?
I assume licensing stuff. It's part of Nintendo's online service, where you'd subscribe to their service, and that was the only way you could play that game. Same thing with Tetris 99. It's the only way you could play it.
Yeah.
But I assume Nintendo just didn't want to pay the licensing rights to Bandai Namco or whoever owns.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, because, I mean, they're not making money on the game. It's just an additive thing to their service.
But Tetris is still there?
Tetris is still there. Tetris,
yeah, that's hard.
Yeah.
Have you played that? Have you tried playing that?
Yeah.
It's hard.
I'm not good at Tetris.
I'm
period.
okay at, like, regular Tetris, but I didn't realize, like, competitive Tetris it's hard.
Competitive Tetris.
It's a whole different way of thinking when you're playing.
And then you have 99 of that going on at once.
Right. And then there's, like, all this, like, additional stuff you can do while you're playing that you can focus on, like attacking other people and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, how do you even, like, take your eyes off of the Tetris for even a moment to do these things? Because you have to, like, because a lot of them involve, like, oh, you gotta see, you'll attack, like, it's like 4 options or something. Like, you can attack the ones with the most points or the least points or the ones with the highest streak or something. I don't remember the exact 4, but it's like I don't even have time to see who any of that is, because it's like all these little boxes around you of people. It's crazy.
Right. And then they all have little boxes.
And then you just have to be good at Tetris on top of all that.
Yeah.
It is anxiety. It's anxiety in a game.
I've never been good at any of those competitive versions. Like, I love Puyo Puyo and Puzzle Fighter.
Yeah.
And all of those. That's where a lot of that mechanic comes from, is, like, sending blocks to the other player's screen and stuff. Things like Puzzle Fighter. But yeah, you're right. It's a lot to pay attention to. And then when I was playing Tetris 99, it was on a handheld screen, so it's even smaller.
Even smaller, yeah. No, same. Yeah, I've only played it on, like, a handheld, like a DS or something. I don't know.
Yeah. So
one of those handheld things.
It would have been Switch.
Switch,
yeah. Switch. It's a really cool game. Pac-Man 99 was the same concept. You can try to eat as many dots as you can while also, like, sending ghosts and
Other
stuff to
yeah.
people. Yeah, it sucks. A game's gone from a service that was like, hey, this is part of our service. Also, Nintendo just likes to vault things randomly.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Nintendo's way of doing things. I mean, just last year was it last year or the year before where they put out that Mario collection and they were like, hey, in 8 months we're taking it off the shelves. It's like this physical game, we're taking it off the shelves and then we're delisting the digital version. Have fun.
Yeah.
Same thing with they remade Fire Emblem the original for like the NES, and it was like digital only for like 3 months, and they did one round of like physical editions, like pre-orders, and that was it. I was like, we're vaulting this. I was
That's
like,
crazy.
Okay, Nintendo.
Right.
Be weird.
Just do whatever, I guess.
Yeah, it's so strange to put all that time and to be like, oh, we're getting rid of it. I mean, it's the Disney thing where they're like, we don't want to pay royalties for shows that didn't do too well, so we're getting rid of Willow and all of these other streaming shows that are on our platform that didn't do well.
Right.
And don't, it's not like nothing deserves to die. Like, I 100% believe, like, if we have the ability to archive everything, we should archive it, you know? TV shows, whatever. But, like, with streaming being more prevalent and stuff like that, it's a lot harder to do that unless if people are just ripping things constantly. And then who knows what's going to be going away.
Right.
So it's like, I mean, it's the same thing with, like, Game Pass or any of these digital libraries. I mean, Game Pass is a lot more in tune with that, where it's an online service. It's not a dedicated library like a Steam would be. But it's the same concept. If Steam goes away, all your games go away. There's no way to get those back. And Steam could try. I mean, Steam would probably refund a lot of people, but people who have Steam libraries have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of games, and then they would just be gone.
Yeah.
Like, unless you have like hard drives to back up all of these ROMs. And then have a way to launch those ROMs, I guess. Not from Steam's backend, but from its own thing.
Right.
Yeah, it's just gonna go away. So things like Pac-Man 99, you know, hopefully somebody maybe, like, dumped a ROM somewhere and then has the idea of, like, making private servers or something like that. Or maybe Bandai would be like, hey, now that the Nintendo deal's done, we're just going to put it out on everything.
Yeah.
And let Pac-Man 99 live on. But it's been a couple weeks, so we don't know what's going to happen. It's probably been about 2 weeks. I feel like they would have said so if that was the case, but they might be waiting for the actual dead date to happen to be able to announce that.
Right.
Just like most exclusives would end. Like, Xbox won't announce that the next Final Fantasy game or whatever it may be to come to the Xbox after PlayStation until it's like that year mark is done for sure. And then they'll be like, hey, it's coming. Yeah. Well, that's really all I have for this week. It's a shorter episode this week, but there's a lot of news. That was like 8 news stories that I just threw at you. Just like that. I've had a really boring week outside of
mostly news.
this.
Yeah.
News, editing videos, and I've been working. It took an extra day for the last podcast to come out. So I am sorry about that. With this one will probably hopefully be going out by tomorrow night. It's like last week's episode was almost 2 hours, and it took like 6 hours to export.
I was gonna say I was like
It took
a minute,
while. And then it took another several hours to upload after that. And in between me working, it was like, okay, I gotta like
Yeah, you gotta
set it before I go to bed to export, and then when I wake up, start uploading it and stuff.
Yeah.
And then get home, and then
Still do everything else, in your life. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, everything in my life is just YouTube right now. It's just now that I'm back in the full swing of things, it's like every waking moment I'm recording, editing, thumbnail, promo, hashtags, like SEO stuff, like all of that. It's just so much time.
The whole cycle.
Yeah. So, if you want to make that time worth it, down below there's a Cash App you can donate to. It will put food in my stomach, gas in my tank, help me do all of this. It will also, give Patrick some food and some gas money too. Also, I think at the end of last podcast, it felt like this whole week went by so fast. I still haven't made a Patreon or anything. That is coming. I don't know when. I'm going to stop saying that's going to be the next week or whatever. But I am planning on making more things to donate to us. So it's not just my name attached to it. But the Patreon will probably be in my name, and Praise the Run will be a segment of that. I still got to figure out everything. YouTube has that podcast feature stuff. I got to do all of the organization of that on the back end. Fuck. There's so much stuff that I need to do, and it's all keeps stacking up. And
it's all coming.
It's like,
you're just now realizing it all.
Yeah, it's like, I'm going to make a TikTok. Well, fuck, I got to make 5 other accounts too and a TikTok. Well, I'm just not going to do any of it because I also got to edit this video. It's like, oh shit, time is a circle, I guess.
Yeah, so if anyone wants to do all of that for us for free,
no, I'm fine with doing it. Just tip me a couple bucks and I'll be able to go get a quesadilla in the middle of it all.
Yeah, true.
But if you don't want to donate, and if you don't feel like that, if you want something physical, I do have a Pokemon store. It is down below. The funds go towards the same thing. I really want to get Patrick a microphone. So we have 2 separate microphones to make this sound better. So that's probably one of the big expenses are. This microphone is like $800. So I don't know if I will be getting another one of those. But something along that would be nice. Yeah, so like, comment, subscribe. Yeah. Anything else, Patrick?
No, I don't think so.
No. People follow you. Where can they follow you?
And just find me under Patrick McKinstry.
Patrick McKinstry.
And then
Patrick_Wasey? Is that your
name? You can find me under there too. But, you search Patrick McKinstry, my Facebook and Instagram will pop up.
Right.
But yeah, Patrick's_Wasey is another way to find me.
Your handle.
And I do comedy stuff and cry a lot. So if you want to be involved in any of that, follow me, and
Hell yeah.
It's all fun.
My social links are down below, but also you can look up MrBenShow on everything. MrBenShow will pop up with me, hopefully. Usually it's me. If you can't find me through Twitter or Instagram on that, you can look up This Is Ben Lucky. That's my handle. All one word, no spaces. Makes it pretty easy to find my name because of my last name. Like, comment, subscribe. Like, comment, subscribe on Patrick's channel as well. Patrick has a YouTube channel that he hasn't uploaded much to, but
yeah,
I'm sure comedy stuff will be going up there and stuff throughout the year.
I got some secret comedy footage, so if you want some secret comedy footage, let me know. None of it's public, but I'll send you some private goodies.
Oh yeah. Well, this has been episode 15 of Praise the Run.
15.
I'm Ben, and this is Patrick. Some fun, guys. It's been real. Peace out, Cub Scouts.
See ya.